Hello everyone, I'm your host Marble Jester. Welcome back to this episode 3 of Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. Now, we have to go to Gilded Vale to try and cure our sickness, but we gotta stop over at Valewood first, as it is the interjection, the midpoint between there and here. Oh, pardon me. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got tons of XP. I have to level up, eh? Let's see. Stealth. Stealth allows characters of any class to attempt to avoid being seen or heard. It's used automatically whenever the character is in scouting mode. The higher the character's skill, the closer they can get to enemies before being detected. Athletics. Adventuring is tiring work. Traveling, fighting, and scrambling up fallen statues can take its toll. Athletics skill counters the effects of accrued fatigue, allowing characters to go farther and fight longer before they suffer penalties. In conversations and scripted interactions, athletics is used for physical feats like climbing, swimming, and jumping. I'm not a very athletic person in real life, so I guess I'm going to ignore that one. I don't really see its use all too much yet anyway. Lore presents the characters accumulating miscellaneous knowledge and trivia, often of occult or esoteric topics, outside of conversations and scripted interactions. Lore is used to activate scrolls. Higher lore values allow the character to use higher level scrolls. My lore is high enough as it is already. Mechanics. Traps and locks can be... Yeah, traps and locks, basically. We all know what mechanics is. Survival allows the character to make use of food and potion items they find. The higher the character's survival skill, the longer the duration of such items. Survival can also be used in conversations and scripted interactions that involve wilderness challenges or specialization information. Let's see, points left. So let's see, we're going to increase our athletics twofold. Yeah, let's see, like, the first level of advancement, you have 1, so it's 0. And there's minus 40 combat fatigue gain, that would be useful. That's useful too. Oh, points to advance isn't like it's automatically that many points. Okay, I guess 2 will be sufficient, because I want to purchase some other stuff too, eh? Now some stealth would definitely be good. And higher points in mechanics and lore would be good. When I learn about survivalism, I want it to be like a significant amount, not just spending a point here on a 0 just to show promise of something. Let's see. Consulhots Parasitic Staff, first level wizard spell. Speed, fast. Summon a weapon, Consulhots Parasitic Quarterstaff for 65 and a third seconds. Base 45 seconds. Ah, but I increased my intelligence, so it has better duration. See, it freezes enemies based on chance. 13 to 19 freeze. Blinded for 4.5 seconds just about, so they can't hit me. You know what, I think a shield spell actually would be ideal here. Let's see. Oh, it comes to talents, Snake's Reflexes. You see, I sort of already made pilgrimage to the next port of the game, but technical difficulties and I had to reload. Ain't that a bitch? Oh, I thought this guy, yeah, this guy had some camping supplies on him. Now, I really wish I could just raise this thing. Could I minimize tutorial messages? Yes, sure, I suppose. Just, I want to be, like, forgotten as a tab, so, like, it accumulates over time. Then, like, once the adventure is over and I beat the bad guy and this and that and all that, I'm like, oh, a ghost. Ghosty goo, I'm gonna follow you. But I guess considering the technical difficulties, this episode will be twice as long. Yay! Anyways, the magic missile spell. Die! I lost 1 HP. Isn't that just fine and dandy? Wolf pelt. I can sell it. The grass is still flattened behind the wagon's wheels. Barrels of cabbages, potatoes, and squash have been overturned and abandoned. Oh, this is actually different. Scroll of Nature's Mark. That's intriguing. I remember last time it was like a scroll of a spell I already had, so I was like, oh, okay. Whatever, but that's actually interesting.
How do you do?
Greetings, he says, a little breathless. On your way south, is it? He wipes his brow, turns face to you, this man, Naunton. The sooner you're clear of these woods, the better, I think. Our caravan was attacked. I've tried to get to Gilded Vale. Hard luck. And I'm sorry to hear it. You should be fine from here. There's no mist in the vale if you keep to the road, and you haven't far to walk. But you want to keep clear of this place after that. We were just attacked north of here. Me and a friend of mine. We came out here to hunt some deer. Came up on a bear instead, great monstrous thing. And Pearly, he didn't make it. He shakes his head. I don't know what I'll tell his wife. In any case, this forest's already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Who are you? Name's Naunton. Born and raised in Gilded Vale. I haven't had a spot of luck since. His face twists. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose. In any case, this forest's already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Where did you find this bear? In a cave, a ways up that way. He turns to point to the northwest. I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brood of a beast. Brood of a beast. Would hate to hear that it took another life. What happened to your friend? We didn't see it coming. Naunton's voice shakes a little as he speaks. We were following a stag. Pearly, he saw something in the brambles, and we went off, tearing off after it. We all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we knew what was happening. The beasts will take what they will, I suppose. And this time, Galawain's favor fell upon the bear. Farewell. Northwest, huh? You scored a crit! Crit's bear resulted in a hit. Awesome. Go take some mushrooms. Oh, some herbs over here. Make a potion out of those. I know this works. I remember there was a healing potion I could have made. A certain potion I could have made that involved that. Didn't swallow my pop quite right. I need a goodie ring, but I'm anxious. Let's see. Combat only, not in Grimoire. Oh, level. Only level 1, eh? Oh my god, it goes up to level 10? It's like Final Fantasy squared. You know what? Fuck this bear. I'm gonna go save that guy's corpse another time. There we go. Get over here. Double speed. Look at that cursor twitch. That's really fast. Alright, now regular speed. Oh wait, I'm gonna take a look at this. I love crossroads in video games. Where I was like these signs. Northwest to Garen's Grasp. South to Gilded Vale. Garen's Grasp, but it's not letting me go there yet. Because my character's just like... I assume my character's just like inclined to be difficult. I've got lemon meringue cookies. I've got goodie rings. Dad's goodie rings. But I can't reach for them because I don't want to make a bunch of noise and upset you guys. Yeah, at first those were people. I thought those were people. I was like, oh, look at all the life, but I was like, oh, they're Hannon. That's pretty funny, actually.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Our leafless monstrosity of a tree next to him. To welcome everyone this way? The only thing I see here is the buzzing of flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
Lots of rather personal question. No.
Are you absolutely certain?
Dude, I'm a godlike. I
Lord
ain't got a
Radric has
pee-pee.
made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village.
He must not know quite a bit of lore himself, because I'm a godlike. I ain't got a
should warn
pee-pee.
you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly toward the deformed tree. And again, I don't have a pee-pee.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
I've been feeling strange ever since I had a close call with a bailiwick. Is there someone in town who could help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But
True.
if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
You said something about Hollowborn and Waywind's legacy before? I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Darrowwood for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice to a whisper. Children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe, barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows, but they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Waywind's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol, and vitriol means like animosity, I think. I recall. Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. No, that's... No. He carefully. You want to mind where you mentioned that. Trespassing on Engwithan ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Barath, have mercy, we certainly have. Maybe so. Goodbye.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
What happened? Shrugs one bony shoulder. You'll know more details when the messengers arrive. The vagaries of childbirth, perhaps, but that's none of your concern. What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Barath must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze upon you. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise to get some rest. The inn, or stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Farewell then.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Oh, handsome fella. Got his own portrait. Shows he's important. Strange way to talk about your dead. He looks up the tree and breathes out. Half the town's up there now. Seems like no right way to talk about it. I'm looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Things are bound to get worse now. The Black Hound Inn's a fine place to sit and have a smoke. Careful if you head east, guards patrol the Eastern Wood, but not the Black Meadow. Ah, Black Meadow? So I can go downstairs here, but I haven't done that yet. And here, fellow godlike Theophilian. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach for the soul. You see a pennant waving tall and sluggish in the wind, a rising sun embroidered on the banner, the vanguard of a small troop of paladins. The atmosphere is buoyant, if restrained, and their armor has not yet been tarnished by the elements. This expedition is fresh, young, filled with zest and zeal. At their head stands Commander, awkward in full armor but determined in step. Despite the excitement of his fellows, he does not smile. There's a twist to his mouth, his countenance grim. He throws up a hand, halting his troop. Silence falls among them, revealing a dark thunder, deep and low. He orders them to ready their weapons and spread out. Eyes dart from horizon to horizon. Necks twisting to see the source of the sound. In the distance, dust and lightning rise from the sound as Stygian clouds race toward them overhead. The soldiers stand, only to the staccato movement of their breath betraying their nerves. The commander closes his eyes, calling a blessing down on his troop, invigorated, invincible. They wait as the enemy draws closer, poised to attack. I'll step back. Give that mother some space. Let's see what these two are up to. The thing about joining a family over in Deerford, they've had it far better than us. Feels like we've been seeing more bandits along the roads of late. Understandable. Blackhammer Smithery, huh? Well, maybe that'll be a good place to sell some of my weapons. Definitely have an excess of them. Excess, I mean. Harlan Orenson, very green. As you near, you feel vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a man crouching, surreptitious and alone, a series of untamed shrubs, all that hides him from the vision ahead. His eyes are locked on a Delimgun, beautiful and terrible, eyes half lidded as she hums. A bird with fantastic blue and orange plumage sits on her shoulder, trilling gently, and the man is entranced, trembling, tentative. He stands, and the tranquility is broken by the bird's startled squawk. The Delimgun half smiles, beckoning with twig-like fingers. He does not speak as he approaches. His mouth is dripping sounds of awe and admiration. She waits, coy and tempting, and with agonizing slowness he is before her. Then something changes. She sees something hanging limply from his side and begins to hiss, fingers suddenly claws, and eyes black with hate. He has no time to reach for his axe or grimoire as she strikes, and just as soon as she strikes, she is gone. The only evidence of her existence, the shuddering wreck on the ground. He grabs at his grimoire, nevertheless, and begins to chant, but the words of a magical language of his own imagining, scribbled in a maniacal shorthand, ring hollow, and the silence continues unabated. He turns and shrugs at someone or something, but if there is something there, you do not see it. As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a group of adventurers surrounded by a crowd of attacking Zorips. This man is with them. Was that like the little imp guy that I got that spear from? I think so. This man is with them, seemingly unconcerned by the battle, even detached from it. He stands in the middle of his comrades, chanting, his expression bordering on elation. His voice is powerful and deep, booming out across the combatants as a rich counterpoint to the chaos of their fighting. With every phrase, the battlefield changes. His allies glow with a pulsing blue light, freezing the Zorips that surround them. A blazing pyre erupts from the ground, cutting and burning the creatures and sending them scattering. One of the fallen Zorips suddenly explodes as three giant grubs crawl from its corpse and attack the remaining enemies. The man continues to chant, thoroughly enthralled in the joy of the moment. Finally, the creatures have been reduced to none. His allies stand back as the man approaches it, still chanting. He removes his hammer and swings it at the Zarip. His phrase ends as the hammer connects with its head, punctuating the spell and bringing this song to an end. He seems a lot more victorious than the green man. Tuatanu. This Aumoa man, Aumoa, that was the amphibious people, right? Is of an impressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is the dusky blue of the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast corded muscle. Small ears frame a square-jawed face, coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. He offers you a broad smile as you approach. Welcome, you're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? Is this your shop? That it is. Been here near on 20 years now. Seen all manner of things over the years. Good luck and bad. Tuatanu glances at the guard standing watch along the wall, but the black hammer smithery remains. What do you have here? Here, you come to us at a strange time, I'm afraid. The stock's not what it used to be, but we find weapons and armor to offer yet. All forged right here, the Black Hammer. Show me what you have for sale. Of course, you won't find finer anywhere else. Oh, I bet I will. But... $5 CP. Wow, I've got tons of stuff worth. The hide armor. Helm. The miscellaneous, I suppose. Tattered journal, not getting rid of that. Lockpicks? No, I'm not getting rid of those. Wolf hide? Sure. None of my ingredients. You never know what use they'll be. Just 20 CP? Yeah, I'm not too interested in that. 10 CP? That's inappropriate for me. 5 CP? Yeah, it's worth more than that to me. I'm not selling the piglet. This item grants ability to shield the wearer from the myriad spells that plague the world of Eora. An aspect of the god Aelithes. Gaun represents the harvest of old age, symbolized here by the many interlocking sickles that form the ring. As Gaun helps protect the dignity of old age, so too do his followers pledge to prevent young lives from being harvested before their time. Let's see, what's he got for sale though? So he's got a saber. He's got some enchanted rings, but their price is just ridiculous. Huh. I'll take some camping supplies, sure. Always good. And at the end of the day, he's still going to give me 185 CP. Whatever the currency is called again. Sure. Let's do it. Let's trade. Shake hands. So I got 402 CP now. You have a transaction pending. Leave anyway? No. Okay. Okay, so let's check out our inventory once more. Okay, let's see, CP. Okay, let's check out the status here. The one-handed battle axe 12 to 17. The Zarp Spear is 12 to 17 too, but property is accurate. Bonus critical damage. Huh. I'm a little torn between those. Oh, once I get a new partner, if he doesn't have like good enough equipment, then I could spare him some of that. Apprentice. Don't tell Tautanu, but I think Dunstan over in First Fires might have the edge on him. Guard. Speak to Master Tautanu if you want something. Alright, I'm done with this place. I'm leaving. And I'm done with its coke too. Sorry. Clicking an item in a container while holding the shift key will move it directly to your stash. Oh, okay. That's something I might be able to get used to. Pardon me, it's always good to rinse your teeth after you have a soda. Hugo! Dr. Hugo! As near, you feel vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Man, a lot of people have vibrant histories going on in their souls. You see a room, bright, warm, and covered in greenery. There isn't a spot in the entire space that doesn't have some kind of plant growing in it. Small germinating seeds in a corner here, large sprawling vines climbing the tree walls there. Although most of the plants are actually in some kind of container, there are a few that have grown from the dirt floor itself. These are just as lovingly cared for as anything else in the room. This man wanders through the plants, smiling at each and every one, an old pipe clenched between his teeth. Stopping next to one, he touches a leaf, lifting it up to look at the underside, then gently rubs it between his fingers. He takes a small handful of the soil it grows in and crushes it with his fingers. Satisfied, he drops the soil back into the pot and continues to the next plant. He hums a low, cheery tune as he moves along the plants, occasionally stopping to say a few words of something to one of them. Finally, he reaches the door. Having visited every plant in the room, he turns back to look at them, a look of serene pleasure on his face. Then he turns back and is gone. Can I actually talk to this man? No. Can you have a vibrant history? Yeah, vibrant history, yeah. You see a group of people standing around a wagon, transfixed on a sword as it swings in a large, graceful arc. This man holds the sword, passing it from hand to hand with relaxed ease, making the blade dance in front of his audience. He tosses it into the air, spins, then puts his arm behind his back to catch it. The crowd claps excitedly, and a couple of them gasp, certain they are about to see a tragedy. So he's like a circus performer? I heard they fended off another attack on Lord Raedric's keep. Is there people trying to attack this Lord Raedric? Not exactly the most likable person, eh? Despite the rains, the stalks feel dry and stiff as a locust's husk. Yeah, I surmised correctly. I think these rains would be a boon for the crops. Yeah! I surmised correctly from that bit of line. Crops ain't doing so good. No wonder everyone's depressed. Bloodhound Inn's a fine place to sit and have a smoke. Yes, but where is it? Oh, hey, I haven't met you yet. Oh, it's a villager. Did you hear the bell? Is bad news, I think. This game's so pretty. Hey, another godlike here. Rudofer Necator. As you near, you feel vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a pair of immaculately polished leather boots and an impeccably maintained goatee. Their owner, a slightly hook-nosed man with a wicked grin and narrow eyes. He bobs his feathered hat at a nearby merchant as he ambles by, a small piece of parchment held tight in his fist, ink staining his fair fingers. He seems to know most of the merchants in the market, stopping to engage some, nodding at others, and even bartering for minor goods with a select few, always smiling, laughing, and exchanging jibes. He approaches a heavy-set Alma, smile plastered stiff across his face, and jokes about the weather. She jokes back, subtly palming him several gold coins. When he walks away, the paper in his hand is gone, and the smile on his face far more genuine. He tips his cap at her, winking, and trundles off with a new spring in his step. Sounds like something illegal. Like he's a spy. Doran Chamberlain, a fellow godlike, is near to vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a large crowd gathered in the middle of the courtyard. This man stands in the midst of them, a cloak pulled over his head, holding it closed around his neck. The crowd has congregated around a platform, and they all watch transfixed as a man is led to the platform, flanked by 2 city guardsmen. The man is shackled hand and foot, but carries himself as a nobleman, not deigning to even glance at the crowd. The cloaked man pulls his cover closer around his face and turns to leave, hunching over to avoid being seen. A crier on the platform unrolls a parchment and begins to read, but the man pays no attention, intent on getting away from the courtyard. The crier's voice grows louder and more intense as he reads, and voice from the crowd start to punctuate his sentences. The jeers and shouts grow more frequent, and with each one, the cloaked man flinches and his shoulders droop. He breaks from the crowd, coming to the edge of the courtyard as the crier reaches the end of his proclamation. The crowd grows silent again, save for the occasional shout. The man turns back to look at the platform, seeing his father kneeling before the block, neck exposed. The executioner moves into position, lifting his axe to strike. The man turns suddenly, unable to watch. There is a wet thunk, and the crowd breaks into cheers and applause. He leans against the wall, regaining his composure, then straightens up. With obvious resolve, he strides off, away from the crowd and his legacy. I'm going to give this one a second read, pardon me. You see a large crowd gathering. This man stands in the midst of them, a cloak pulled over his head, holding it close around his neck. The crowd is congregated around a platform, and they all watch. Transfixed as a man is led to the platform, flanked by 2 city guardsmen. An execution, I see. The cloaked man pulls his cover close around his face and turns to leave, hunched over to avoid being seen. The parchment gets to read, but the man pays no attention, getting away from the crier. The crier's voice grows louder and more intense. Punctuated sentences. Jeers and shouts grow more frequent. With each one, the cloaked man flinches and his shoulders droop. Coming to the edge of the courtyard as the crier reaches the end of the proclamation. The crowd goes silent again, save for the occasional shout. The man turns back to look at the platform, seeing his father kneeling before the block, neck exposed. The executioner moves into position, lifting his axe to strike. The man turns suddenly, unable to watch. There's a wet thunk, and the crowd breaks into cheers and applause. He leans against the wall, regaining his composure, then straightens up. With obvious resolve, he strides off, away from the crowd and his legacy. So, as I put it, there's a race called the Keith, which are sort of like elves, like a magical race. And the godlike are the children of them, and this man was the godlike child of a certain Keith, but for some reason, this Keith committed like a felony or a heresy of some sort, and was executed for it, and that certain godlike right there loved him, and had a harsh time accepting his death, which everyone was cheering for in the whole city. Ooh, nice pinwheel, Jesus. We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull, says Swainer. We won't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. A muffled shout emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards comes through that door gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swainer. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads. But we'll be back, Trumbull, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame, we'll have a reckoning. New task. Against the grain. Investigate the feud. See, those men are gone, so here, I'm gonna have a good talk with this man in here. Invading his home, like you do in RPGs. Oh, that's a good crack. An elven man stands before you, his relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anyone. The miller hesitates and lowers the club a fraction. Who are you? Is Swainer roping foreigners into this little crusade now? My name is Jester. I've only just arrived in Gilded Vale. Trumbull shakes his head. You picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Vale's had all its shine scraped off. Just a big dung heap now, and Swainer thinks he's king of it. They're all of them mad. What was all that ruckus outside? Where to begin? Swainer's whipped them up into a froth, going on about the grain stores, claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west side of town for ale, and Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. Ah, so it's on the west side, this inn. You take a look at the fields on the way into town. The crop's blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers... Trumbull gestures to the sacks and containers. It's gone off, rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely got enough good grain to go around. Swainer's howling after things he has no right to. Maybe I ought to have a talk with Swainer then. Seems like a pretty clean story for a messy situation. Nah, I'm not gonna suspect this guy like this. Maybe I'd have a talk with Swainer then. Miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore, but maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt for it if you can convince him. The grain. Resolve the feud between Trumbull and Swainer. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk with this Swainer. Eventually, at least. But first, I want to go to this inn. So that some more info can come to town. Based on the Lord's Child. There's some herbs here, at least. I've served the day. People can live on these herbs. I'm guessing this is the inn, actually. I suspected it a moment ago, but I was like, I don't know. A little hard to navigate over here. Yeah, it must be the inn. Inns have cows. Don't they? Who are you? Oh, it's just another villager. Shoot. Come on, baby. You know what, honestly, let's take a look at this map. Windmill. Quithouse. Adair, this guy's got his own land marker here. The Black Hound Inn, it's over here. I got east and west mixed up. Jesus. That's so embarrassing. Fucking Black Hound Inn. Gotta remember, it goes clockwise. Never eat Saga. That's not the pistol. Ha! Oh, so are there firearms in this game? That's odd. Oh, let's go up here. There's a nice little balcony. I like it. Sneak up on enemies, use scout mode. Yep. Just like Fallout. What the hell is that? I'm gonna talk with this Black Hound. This hound stares intently at the covered window. His head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. It looks up when you approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. I think I entered the attic when I'm not supposed to. I'm gonna pet the dog. The dog's tail thumps happily against the floorboards. Oh, it's a good dog. It's good. These bones are covered in tiny bite marks. Of course, it's a dog. Yeah, this looks like a medieval recreation of that certain part in what was it, Sand something? No. That certain city in Fallout 2. Looks very much like it, except instead of these guys, it'd be that harlot, that femme fatale. Deslok Najatep. Let's see what this story is about. You see a man soar through the air, hitting a nearby wall with a nauseating crunch. He doesn't get up. His attacker, a burly, clean-cut warrior with a carnivorous grin, turns and shoves his fist into the stomach of another assailant. Removing another with the impromptu brawl, the bar is a whirlwind of elbows, knees, fists, and feet, with no end in sight, and he is in his element. In the corner, three smaller men speak quietly, throwing malicious glances at the larger man in the center. He breaks a chair over a tattooed head, cackling. The trio position themselves in three parts of the room, and with a terse nod they charge. Unfortunately for them, the man sees them coming. Something in his eyes burns slightly, and all three slump to the ground in an agony that's all in their minds. A spell? The burly man bows to a room of the unconscious and incapacitated before sauntering out. Off-key whistle trailing behind him. Bow, so he finds something honorable with it? Huh. Shane Shakes Mullerian. Through vibrant history containing the essence of a man's soul. Voices from its past. You see an emaciated boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at a wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, a scroll and an oddly shaped quill in his hand. The boy glances at him expressionless, a corpse waiting for animation. The man clucks at him, disapproval clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes the quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying sharp, angular symbols from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane command, setting the symbols to glow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally, the glow disappears, leaving only hard black scars etched into his skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard grunts, kicking him on the leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, the twitches growing into convulsive shakes. That's horrible. Sela Ammon. Let's get his vibrant story or whatever. You see a long empty road cutting through two large crop fields. The air is silent and the land seems too still for early afternoon. This woman walks slowly on the road, leading a horse, curiously looking around. She seems to sense something wrong, but is unable to discern what it is. She stops, sniffing at the air, her nose high, her brow crinkles, and she casts about, looking for something. The air is clear, no clouds. She sniffs again, still looking around, confusion clouding her face, mouthing a single word. Fire? She looks out across the fields, her confusion turning to fear. She holds her hand up to block the sun from her eyes and scans the fields again, not finding what she was looking for. She jumps onto her horse's back, the fear quickly becoming panic. She kicks, sending the horse shooting down the path, which bends around some trees to where the farmhouse should be. She pulls up short, horror now in residence on her face as she stares at the burned and charred mess that used to be her family's home. Tears well in her eyes, and she kicks again, racing to the rubble. What was that? Did something break downstairs? Ingest. Well, I'll leave her be. Grab a drink, friend. Not much else of worth in this town, says the woman from Thane. Hey, we said we won't mention Thane. What have you got to say? Ah. So they're like travelers here. Strong Brightblade. Let's see his story. You see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out each part as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. He carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he is doing as he does, and lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking towards the boys, talking about proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. A noise comes from the tree line near their practice venue, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, moving its way through the forest behind them. He draws an arrow and lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Loosing the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boys spin, watching the arrow fly into the forest. Immediately lost among the trees, there's sudden explosive movement in the undergrowth as a deer erupts from the tree line. Running across the edge of the clearing, the boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. They stop talking, seeing him holding the bow and leading the deer with a knocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he loses this last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind its shoulder, piercing heart and lungs, and dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds and then slowly turn to look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. Respect is a good thing to earn. Selena Vertivo. As near, yep. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack one item after the other, pardon me, careful deliberation undercut by shaken hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can in the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen. Anyone heading out on high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. Drunkard. Villager. I'm gonna talk about the drunkard. I hear that another fool coming to answer Redrick's invitation. Our great lord had my sister run out of town after the buoy was born. Boy, you mean? She was the only family I had left. Not sure where she is now. Blazes, I need another drink. Poor guy. Goffwin. If you're not an ale, I don't have business with you. Big pardon, sir. Don't have much time for talking. No one unique?
Hello.
Oh, greetings and welcome to the Black Hound Inn. The innkeeper bows her head curtly. Please sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have two available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by the way of a good meal today, she sighs, unless you're fond of cold porridge. What's the story with that dog upstairs? Oh, that poor thing. She's still waiting on the old owner of the place. Thing is, I don't think he's coming back. It's been a long time now. We've tried our best, but with things how they are, we don't have much attention to spare for a hound. I'd like to know more about the hotel itself. For sale? I could use some reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? Oh, well, I wouldn't say I can speak from experience, but we do have a certain sorts coming by looking for work from time to time. If you want to hire someone on, I'd be happy to send them your way. Let me see what I have to work with. Copper stands for, CP stands for copper. But I guess silver is like 1,000 or 100 copper. Gold is like 100 silver, just like, wow. Huh, these things temporarily increase your stats if you get like a special rest, but no, I guess I'll have a common room. Just to rest myself. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts. With a gust of rancid air, she speaks a word. Watcher. You jolt awake. The foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Permeating means like to go through, to phase through. Like a filter. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. That's right, yeah. And if she knows magic, then she may be having better skill communicating beyond the dead. Though it fills you with a new queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. I see. Intriguing. And you know what? I'm afraid we're going to have to end this episode off here, folks. See you next time on the next episode of Let's Play Pillars of Eternity with Mumble Jester. Bye-bye.